I've been waiting for a certain package for days and days and days. And my mail lady, she just puts them wherever. It could be laying around in the yard here. She'll put one over by the garage one day, over by the camper another day, one up on top of my deck the next day. So I'm gonna sit in this chair right here and wait for her to get here. We're gonna straighten some things out. Back in a bit. Nothing. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Flower Gold Wizards. We got some mail, so we're going to do another episode of In the Can. Let's see what we got. We got a package right here. This came from California, from Justin and Danielle. Let's take a little read here. To Flower Gold Wizards. Here's some Yuba River Gold from Northern California that my family and I put together for the can. Have fun processing it, and we can't wait to see the outcome. Have fun, and we hope for lots of gold in 2020. The 3 Nuggeteers. I don't know who the other Nuggeteer is, but I thank all 3 of you. You know, let's see what they sent. This here big bag, that's about, well, that's got to be close to 10 pounds, 8-10 pounds, I bet. Big old sealed up bag of material. Let me try to get a close up of that stuff. It looks just like real light river sand, but who the heck knows, you know? I don't know nothing about that river out there other than stuff Top Cat sent me, and maybe some stuff Adam from California Gold Rush got from under his pillow. So to run that stuff, I've got a little bit of equipment set up. Let's take a look at it. Hey boys. All right, how are we gonna get the gold out of that stuff? Well, I'll tell you. I got my sluice set up. Just a 6-inch steel stud with some silicone mat I made. And this stuff here is the stuff I like to use for cleanups on my black sand runs from the beach. But I think the size of the grains and that stuff in that bag, this is gonna work real well. That light material will wash right off of there, and I think I'm gonna catch the gold. And I did leave one of the high-low mats on there for any nugget activity. It's got quite a bit deeper channels, and that's actually what I use in the first capture tray of my gold cube. Stuff works amazing. And down at the end here, I've got a small blue plastic pail to catch all the tailings, and I will be running the tailings just to make sure I didn't miss any gold with my little system here. And we just got a 800 gallon per hour pump here, and it's gonna hooked up to this here battery. I'm gonna get this material over here good and wet, and we're gonna start running. Back in a bit. And for those of you who don't know what my 7,000 subscriber can is, well, this is it. Once I hit 7,000 subscribers, I'm going to give this can away to one lucky person. All the gold I get out in the field and anything anybody mails me or I win goes in that can. There's a lot in there right now. Plus a bunch of coins and other minerals and such. So without further ado, let me bounce this camera up here. There we are. Let's get to panning. All right, here's that bag. We're gonna cut her open like such. All right. We'll go ahead and drop that right in this big old super sluice here. Ooh, it smells. It smells like the beach. There we are. And it's good and dry. It might be just a little bit of dampness in there, which is probably not going to be good for this. Nope, that's clumping up real tight now, so I'm not going to be able to use my magnet on that at all. But that's just fine. I'm going to run it right over my sluice over here just the way it is. I'll probably get it a little bit wetter than it is so none of the gold goes floating away. And we'll see what we get. Back in a bit. All right, we've got our water up and running. Got my material here all nice and juicy. And I'll start spooning that on there a little bit here. Let's take a look, see what happens. Looks like it's dancing around in those little grooves pretty good, which is just what I like to see. And it's not going to wash all those giant, well, not giant, but bigger pieces like this one right here, right up and out of there right away. You see that one just rolled right on off of there, but if I set it right on there, I think we're going to be just fine. So let me pound a bunch of this stuff right in there. Let me throw another one on there quick. Yep, look at that stuff dancing around in there. We are gonna do just fine. If there's any gold in here, we're gonna get it. Let's move on down here a little bit. And it looks like nothing's building up too darn bad down in here, so we're doing well. Let me get about half in there and I'll pick it back up. There's Mr. Energy. Back in a bit. All right, I'm gonna do a little video update because I wanna show you something totally awesome. Okay, now, I've been feeding for a little while here and I maybe have a quarter of this stuff run, right? And it's just loaded with gold, okay? Now I've been dropping it, you know, right up here on this little slick tray of sorts or right on this high-low V-mat itself. And I noticed that it's really catching a lot of gold. And if I swish my hand around, you know, in a couple of the riffles here, underneath it's just solid gold, all right? Underneath that black sand, so it's exchanging, okay? And I looked down to my finer mat, and I couldn't see any gold whatsoever at all. So I took one little teaspoonful and I dumped it right here on this flatter mat, and the gold just laid there. So that was the first time I could actually see any gold in this material, and I'm going to do that right now. I'm going to grab your random teaspoon here. Now there's no gold showing in this area right here, all right? So I'm going to dump one right there, right now. Look at the gold. It just dropped right down, right in that riffle there, and it's getting buried. Isn't that cool? This stuff is just absolutely loaded with gold, you guys. And I am really having a great time right now. This is really going to be something. All my riffles are turning good and black here. And it's amazing. Look at the gold. It's good. Let me keep running. We'll pick it back up. Pick it a bit. All right, we are right about halfway. And I'm thinking I'm gonna do a clean out. This thing is it's solid gold, all right? There's hardly any more room for black sand in this thing. There's so much gold in there, okay? It's crazy, to say the least. So I think what I'm gonna do is clean this out. You know, and there is still a little bit of gold down in here that I dumped on there before, and I'm gonna pan out what's in that thing there. I'm not gonna risk losing it in my gold cube and having to do that a few times. I'm just gonna go ahead and take the material out of there and pan it just to see how this system's doing, because that is something. Look in there. All right, back in a bit. All right, you want to see something totally amazing? All right, I did not clean this out yet. What I did was I took that pail of tailings out of there, that one there, and I dumped it in my big blue getting her done pan. And I'll show you the gold I got by my system. Right there. 2 little dots. That's it. I pan that all out. And look in here at the gold that's in there. You tell me this thing isn't catching gold. Alright, I'm going to throw this stuff in a pan and we'll see what's in it. Back in a bit. Alright, we'll yank this baby out of here. Kind of just slides right on out of there. Like so. Alright, give her a little bath here. Like so. Looks pretty clean to me. Let's do some panning. All right, we got our first clean out done of that silicone mat. And look at the gold we found there. That's a lot of gold. And some nice big pieces too. That darn glare, I tell you what. Look at them big pieces in there. You can grab right a hold of them suckers. And they're thick too. And you saw what we got out of the tailings in there. 2 little tiny dots. That silicone mat works awesome. All right, I'm gonna put this thing back together and we're gonna run the rest of that pile right there. I don't even think I ran half. Maybe I was just, no way it was at half. That was about maybe a third. So we're doing well. And I shook that up too when I was getting the water through it. So I'm guessing that there's a lot of gold on the bottom of that baby. All right, here we go, back in a bit. All right, here's our second spoon right here of run number 2. Take a little look at that. There's a couple of big rocks here and there. Not that big, but gravel rocks. So I just been pulling them on out. No biggie. This baby just absolutely catches gold. Amazing. I can already see gold down inside of there. Right down in there. Look at that piece right there. What did you send me, you guys? Holy cow. Let me run a bunch more of this through there and we'll pick it back up. Back in a minute. Alright, we're gonna have a little TV time out here. Alright, let's take a look at what we got. I think I got about 2/3 of it run now. There's, I would say, a big third left. So I'm getting a little rambunctious here. This thing is just getting full of gold. Full of gold. Try to block that light there a little bit. Big pieces, little pieces, all kinds of pieces. All the way through this whole blue thing here. And I started to dump some spoonfuls on here just because that was getting so full. But as soon as I did that, I noticed that they migrated down just a little bit. Here's a piece right down here. It made it down, I don't know, about 8 inches or so. And I don't want to lose any of this gold and have to repan all that out of that tailings because we caught so much of it before. So I'm just going to keep running like this. I mean, it is catching it, so we'll see here. I got another, like I said, another third run. So I'm going to clean this out. Just look at that stuff starting to show up now that that's cleaning out. Good Lord. So I'm going to do another clean out, test my tailings, and do a little wrap up. Back in a bit. The tailings. Here is my tailings from the second run. Look at that. 2 pieces. One nice little flake there and one tiny little dot. I panned that whole thing out with this pan nice and slow. And that's what I got. I'm pretty sure that big flake there is from dumping it on that real light mat down below that big blue one there. So I'm beyond impressed I'm beyond impressed with this blue mat right here. Beyond. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this all out and see what that looks like. Back in a bit. All right, Justin. I'm a little embarrassed. An embarrassment of riches, so to speak. You know, I never had that much gold in a pan, ever. So before we do anything, we're gonna take care of a little something. I'm having this cold beverage on you. Cheers. Look what's in this pan. Look what he sent me in that stuff. Can you believe that? Now you saw my tailings, what I got, what I panned out of that whole thing there. There was like 4 or 5 little tiny dots in one flake. You tell me that silicone sluice doesn't work awesome? You're crazy. I'm gonna get this in my little pan and get it on the furnace and weigh that up. I'm guessing 3 grams. That's what I'm gonna throw out there right now. Back in a bit. All right, I've got all that gold dried. Look at that. I mean, just big pieces, little pieces, pieces. So I got my scale here. Let me get this down into a little pile easier to get on that little scale of mine. I gotta get one of those little triangle gold holders. All right, let me turn this baby on. Get rid of that light, tear it out. Here we are. All right, let's see what we got here. This is gonna be awesome. We're over 2. Look at this. There's just a little tiny bit of 3.5 grams. Holy cow. Holy moly. Look at that. Let me get that up close and personal there a little bit. Isn't that something? Look at the pieces on there. Incredible. Where is that darn can? Here it is, right over here. Got it. All right, we've got the can. We've got the gold. Let me grab this here gold. You know where that's going? Right in the can. Empty. It's in there. Oh yeah. And there you have it. We ran all that stuff over our sluice and we did a little panning, all kinds of stuff. 3.5 grams of gold went in that can. Thank you guys from California, the 3 Nuggeteers. That was awesome. Just, I don't know how you got that gold, but if you're doing that yourselves, you got life by the... I tell you that. What a blast. Thank you very much. And that's going to conclude today's episode of In the Can. What a hoot. I just love doing In the Can episodes. The more gold that goes in that can, the better it's going to be. And it's creeping up on an ounce right now. And I got a few things coming that I think is going to push it right off over the top of that lid. So if you want to send something for the can, go ahead and let me know in the comments. I'll get you my email address and we'll go from there. Piece of cake. Also, don't forget all about our Patreon page. It's in the description below. It's a good deal for everybody. Half the money goes back to you in gold pay dirt drawings. So until the next episode, like, share, subscribe. Please do leave a comment. And Flower Gold Wizards out.